Pranam, Namaskar, Salam, hello. Welcome to an ordinary review with PJ. Today I'm going to review a must-watch web series. A series that is so gripping that will bind you till the end. It's a series from Yash Raj Films. It's available on Netflix and it's inspired by the true events of the Bhopal Gas Tragedy in 1984. The series talks about how the people of the railways played a very crucial role in not only saving passengers who were on the railway station when the gas leak happened, but also of the passengers that were coming on a train that was coming towards Bhopal. The series is called The Railway Men. It's on Netflix. This review is a long one because I felt that I'll not do justice to the series, to the performances, to the way the entire series has been set up by trying to make a short and snappy review. So I would request your patience to see through my review in entirety, to really understand why am I so impressed by this series and why it is a must watch for all of you. The year 1984 was a sad and tragic year for India on multiple fronts. First, in the month of October, we lost our then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi through assassination. And then in December, the Bhopal Gas Leak Tragedy happens, which killed more than 15,000 people as on official records. The actual death number could be even higher. And the after effects of that tragedy lives on till today. And the people who were promised compensation through that Bhopal gas tragedy are even waiting till today to get that compensation. So it was a very, very sad, tragic event that shook the nation. Now, this series is a limited series inspired by the events of the railway people on the role they played in saving as many passengers, as many citizens at that point in time. The series has four principal characters. Kay Menon plays the station master of the Bhopal Junction station. His character is loosely based on the actual deputy station master Ghulam Dastagir, who played the role of saving passengers on the railway station. And he was a dedicated worker. And for him, his railway job was the epitome of what his duty is. His sense of duty, his sense of purpose in not only safeguarding the passengers on the station, but also the role he played in trying to save passengers from this tragedy of the train that is coming into Bhopal at that point in time is very, very critical and crucial. And Kay Menon epitomizes that role absolutely fantastically. He is an awesome actor, and the sense of duty, the sense of purpose that he displays in saving the people is exemplary. His acting is top-notch. The second character is of Babil Khan. He is the son of the late great actor Irfan Khan. He plays the loco pilot who is basically in charge of trying to get a goods train ready for departure. Now, his character actually worked at the Union Carbide factory when he lost a friend of his through gas leak. And he's still fighting the case, and he becomes a spokesperson in trying to highlight the dangers of the gas that is being produced at the Union Carbide plant and how unsafe it is. The effects of what that gas can do, he had seen it on his friend and he's terrified. So he plays a crucial role in explaining what this deadly gas can do. And also his undying duty towards people, his goodness that in spite of risking his life and the life of his family, he wants to make sure that everybody on the station that day is saved. And how he goes about doing that is the second critical part of the series. And Babil Khan, awesome. I mean, I had not expected him to play this nuanced performance. His performance speaks of a sense of earnestness, and you are reminded of his late father, who was a great performer himself. So Babil Khan is taking baby steps towards trying to become an accomplished actor, and this series, I'm sure, will play a great role in elevating him to better projects in the future. He's really done fabulous, awesome. Whenever he's on the screen, you're hooked on to watching him. The third principal character is Divyendu Sharma. Now, he was famous in Mirzapur series. he is shown as a petty thief who has become famous because he actually looted a politician on a train. So he's called the Express Bandit. And he had a purpose to come to the Bhopal station. He wanted to loot the station treasury, which had 1 crore of rupees. So he happens to be there, but then how he gets embroiled in this entire tragedy and how he plays a critical role along with Kay Menon in saving everybody. And does he get a change of heart? I think it's all part of the series that you'll enjoy. And Divyendu Sharma, again, an excellent performer. He will bring out that chutzpah that you need. On one side, he has his intentions of looting the station. On the other side, he's also conflicted in trying to save the passengers. So this conflict that he plays with is absolutely fabulously done by Divyendu Sharma. And then the fourth principal character is the character played by R Madhavan. Now he comes into the series much later. He's shown as a general manager of railways who has actually come to inspect the Itarsi Junction station, which is a few hundred kilometers away from Bhopal. And the trains actually coming from Itarsi have to cross Bhopal Junction going towards north of India. So he has come to that station when he realizes that something is wrong in Bhopal station because they're not able to reach him. And so he tries to figure out what's wrong. And when he comes to know that there's a tragedy that has happened, how he takes matters on his own hand in trying to go with a rescue relief train to Bhopal, in spite of the railways ministry's orders of not to do so. He plays a very, very critical role. And this character is inspired loosely by the general manager Gauri Shankar of Northern Railways at that point in time. So these are the four principal characters, and all of them play a very critical role, and how they interplay with each other is an excellent part of this series. It's very gripping. It'll keep you hooked in at all points in time. You will not leave your seat. It is that tense and that gripping. There are other support characters who have done a good job in the series. There is Juhi Chawla, who is shown as a deputy general manager of the railways. She's in charge of trying to get permission from the ministry for the escape relief train that can be sent, and how she struggles to get that permission. What she does, she's done a fabulous job. There is Raghuveer Yadav, who is the guard of the Gorakhpur Express that is actually coming into Bhopal Junction with all the passengers, unknowing about the tragedy that has already happened there. And he also has another mission. He has to save Mandira Bedi, who plays a Sikh woman along with her son, who's disguised as a female, because at that point in time, the political outfits were behind the Sikhs because of Indira Gandhi's assassination, and how they were trying to find Sikhs and murder them, and how he saves Mandira Bedi and her son plays a very crucial part of the web series. So overall, it has fabulous performances. It has all the elements of the tragedy that you get to understand what really happened. It shows in detail about the apathy of the Union Carbide management in not taking care of the factory, in spite of the audit report showing the safety guidelines are not being followed. The chance of this leak can happen, and it can cause vast tragedy. It shows all of that. It shows the factory general manager who is in charge, who is more interested in purging all the documents so that he doesn't get implicated in this tragedy when it happens, and is not worried about safeguarding the employees of the company who are in the factory at that point in time, and sounding out alerts outside to save the citizens who are staying around the factory. The beauty of the series is also on the way the entire sets have been set up for this series. You are actually taken back to 1984, and the India of 1984 to what it is now is vastly different in terms of infrastructure, in terms of all the other support that the people had, in terms of the equipment, how old and outdated it looks, in terms of the apathy of the people, which may still be there, but I think it was accentuated at that point in time in that era, and the general chalta hai attitude of people towards life. I think the India that we see today seems vastly different, vastly ahead compared to what it was in 1980s. But I think the painstakingly detailed set that has been put in, and I got to know about this when I was looking through a roundtable conversation of all the cast members, which is, by the way, an excellent YouTube video from Netflix that you should see, and I'll put the link of that roundtable discussion in the show notes of this episode. It's worth watching. So this set is so beautifully done, so detailed, that you're really taken back to the 1980s, and you will not even realize that it is a set. That amazingly it is done. So I would say overall, the gas tragedy was very, very sad event that happened in our history. This series will take you to that time and show you what really happened and how the brave hearts from the railways played a critical role in saving thousands of lives at that moment. The series is a must watch. And if you're interested to know more about the gas tragedy, there is a book by Dominique Lapierre, the author who has documented this entire Bhopal Gas Tragedy. I will put the title of the book and the details of the book in case you're interested in the show notes. So do check it out if you have not seen so already. If you have seen the series, I'm sure you would have cherished watching it. Take a look at The Railway Men in Netflix. Thank you for watching an ordinary review with PJ. I would like to thank all the subscribers who have been watching my reviews and sharing your feedback and comments. One of the suggestions that was given to me is to also give a recommendation of another series that they can watch, because sometimes by the time I put out the review, people would have already seen it. My intention of putting out the review is to help people who have not seen it and at the same time share my views. So here's also a recommendation that I feel if you want to check out another exciting series, then I would say check out For All Mankind on Apple TV+. It's an alternative history series of what would have happened if the Russians would have gone ahead and won the moon race in the 1960s. When instead of Neil Armstrong, if a Russian cosmonaut had landed on the moon, what would have really happened? The series is fabulous. It has intermixing of timelines between the real life and the real life, and a lot of elements of what could have been the world if the alternative history could have taken place. Brings out interesting facets in that series. It has 3 seasons that has come on Apple TV+. So if you're interested, do go check it out. For this particular review, in case you are not able to see it on YouTube, I will also be pushing it out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, so you can always listen in as you go out for a walk. Do share your comments and feedback. Any more suggestions of what I can do to make my reviews interesting for all of you are more than welcome. Thank you once again. Do take care of yourselves. Till next time. Bye-bye.